You're listening to guided meditations brought to you by Normal and Unyoked. We've created these meditations to support you in feeling more mindful, present, and regulated. You can do this at any time that you want to connect with your own body or others. Before we get started with today's meditation, take a few moments to set up your space so you can feel as comfortable, safe, and present as possible. For this practice, you'll also need something from nature: a pebble, leaf, sand, a flower. Try not to overthink it, just choose anything you can get your hands on. You may need to pause this video while you find that. Once you have your piece of nature in your hand, I invite you to get as comfortable as you can, leaning back and making sure that your back and neck is supported, even getting a pillow under your arms so that you can really rest your hands, releasing any tension in your body, releasing your jaw, allowing your shoulders to release down, releasing any tension in your stomach, allowing for it to balloon out as you inhale and contract as you exhale. And releasing any tension in your glutes. Taking these moments just to notice how you can feel even more comfortable. And lengthening your exhale. Starting with a few rounds of breath like this. Every exhale lengthening it just a little bit more. I invite you to become aware of how your piece of nature feels in your hand. And starting by exploring it, running your fingertips across this object. Feeling for the soft parts, feeling for anything that's uneven, and observing how you're feeling as you're exploring this. You may have closed your eyes already, or you may choose to keep them open as you're feeling and exploring, observing what gaze feels best for you. Taking a minute or so for some self-exploration. Can you slow down your touch even more? And can you slow down the touch even more? How slow can you consume this piece of nature? Observing how your body feels. Observing where your mind is going. If you get distracted at any point, that's totally fine. Just coming back to the object when you can. Observing how you're breathing as you explore this piece of nature. And listening for any sound that it might be making. And starting to get curious. What pleasure can you feel as you touch this piece of nature? And if it's not pleasure, maybe it's just observing what feels good. And how can you use this piece of nature to awaken sensation in your hand? How can you move it across the surface really slowly? And what does it feel like? Can you follow sensation that feels really great? Maybe you can find a part of your hand that feels nice and staying with this. And then when you're ready, moving on to another part of your hand. Using this piece of nature to awaken as much sensation in your hand as possible. Not forgetting to go in between the fingers. Or on the side of your hand. Or on the back of your hand. Around your wrist. For the next few minutes, you will hear the sounds of nature. Sounds that were captured at one of the beautiful unyoked cabins. And I invite you to keep exploring, awakening sensation in your hand for the next 5 minutes. Taking it as slow as possible and lengthening your exhale when you can. And Elliot, just inserting here maybe 3 minutes of sounds so that they can continue exploring this, and I'll come in with an outro now. And drawing this to a close, holding your object in your hand, feeling the weight of it and observing the sensation that you're feeling. You may wish to place your piece of nature away from you and taking a few minutes to observe how you're feeling.